Our Turning Point USA family, but I want you guys all to see the Medal of Freedom and be able to look at it in the back of it. You guys are all part of the legacy. So we put your name on the back. It's the first and last time they'll put a cross on it. But yeah, you guys. I literally will stand here so all of you guys like I don't care. Everyone can have their moment and see. Yeah, where's that?
Thank you.
Look at this. This is Erika Kirk. Just days after her husband was assassinated, she's smiling, laughing, and showing off his Medal of Freedom like she just won an award. Many people saw the footage and immediately felt something wasn't right. Body language experts reviewed the same clips, and their findings were chilling. The big question is this how a widow acts after her husband is murdered, or is something much darker going on? Charlie Kirk was killed at a public Turning Point USA event. He was a major figure in conservative circles, young, passionate, and constantly debating on college campuses. Love him or hate him, the man had influence. But things got strange fast. Erika appeared on camera only days after his death, and while everyone grieves differently, her behavior raised eyebrows. Even Joe Rogan questioned the case on his podcast, pointing out inconsistencies in the shooting, the suspect, and the official story. Now multiple experts have analyzed Erika's body language frame by frame, and what they found has the internet calling her the happy widow. In this video, we break down Rogan's concerns, expert analysis, and why this case keeps getting stranger the more you look into it.
I don't necessarily think they know what's going on yet. There's a lot of weird shit going on with this.
I know.
First of all, there was that one guy who was the decoy. All right, so you got this guy who's an older guy who starts yelling out. Didn't he take his pants down? He took his pants down. This guy was at 9/11. He was at the Boston bombings.
All the hits.
He called in a fake bomb at another place. And then he did this at this thing. Right after, so somehow or another, this guy has the state of mind that the moment someone gets shot, he yells out and says, I did it, and takes his pants down or something like that. I don't know.
And a guy wrote, this guy got what he deserved. No, he didn't. He had open debates. That takes courage. So if you didn't agree with him, you could come and speak. What's wrong with that?
Listen to what Joe says about the suspect situation. An older man showed up at the scene yelling, I did it, and even pulled his pants down. Sounds crazy, but that's what was reported. Supposedly, the same guy had been linked to 9/11, the Boston Marathon bombing, and even a fake bomb threat elsewhere. Then, right after the incident, he was arrested on unrelated charges. As Joe points out, that's very convenient, because now no one can interview him, ask questions, or figure out what's really going on. Joe even says, what are the odds this guy keeps showing up at major events? Run the math, and the probability is basically zero. But it gets stranger. The official story claims the real shooter was a 21-year-old using his grandfather's World War I rifle with no serial number, somehow disassembled, carried in a backpack, reassembled on a rooftop, and used to take the shot.
This kid who's not military trained, this guy, first of all, how did he get to the roof? How come nobody was looking? How come nobody was like, there's a direct line of sight between where he's sitting and those roofs? You guys didn't check? You don't have a drone? Like, that's insane. So he's on the roof, he shoots, he jumps from the roof. He jumps down 14 feet.
Yeah, we saw didn't they have video of him jump? Somebody had a cell phone video of him jumping.
There's
down,
a video
right?
of him jumping. So this guy, whoever it is, jumps off of the roof and lands, whether or not he's even the guy who shot him. Maybe he thought he was going to shoot him. Maybe he's a patsy. Maybe he did it.
I feel like he's a plant. Did you see the video? Did you see the person doing the investigating on his mom's Facebook?
No.
You haven't seen this? Have you seen that, Jamie? Some dude online.
His mom's got a weird Facebook. I
It's
spill coffee.
very trippy. It doesn't make any sense.
Now, Joe Rogan knows weapons, really knows them, and he explains why this story makes no sense. He says you'd need specific tools, Allen wrenches, and gunsmith equipment, and even if you were highly skilled, it would take a long time to disassemble and reassemble a rifle like that. Then there's the bigger question. How did this kid even get onto the roof? No security, no drones, a clear line of sight, and nobody checked. Joe's reaction says it all. This story is horseshit. None of this makes sense to me. He adds that if you want people to lose faith in an investigation, you flood it with weird details. You leave someone who didn't do it in the woods. You have an old man yelling, "I did it." You bring in a kid with a strange background. You make the whole thing feel fabricated, like intentional chaos. While people argue about the shooting itself, something else grabbed attention. Charlie Kirk's widow, Erika. Imagine this. Your spouse was murdered in front of a crowd just days ago. Most people would be devastated, unable to eat, sleep, or think straight. But that's not what happened with Erika. Only days after Charlie's death, she appeared on camera at Turning Point USA headquarters. And that footage is what sparked the entire controversy.
Our Turning Point USA family, but I want you guys all to see the Medal of Freedom and be able to look at it in the back of it. You guys are all part of the legacy. So and then on the back, it's the first and last time they'll put a cross on it.
Look at her face. She's smiling, not a small, forced smile, but a full, genuine one. She's showing off Charlie's Medal of Freedom, telling staff they're part of the legacy. She looks excited, energetic, almost happy. And sure, people process trauma differently. Maybe she's in shock. Maybe she's putting on a brave face. But compared to how most widows act just days after losing a spouse, the contrast is striking. One comment on the video went viral. Everyone grieves differently, but no one grieves like her. That line summed up what thousands were thinking. And this wasn't the only clip. More footage surfaced, and when people watched it all together, the picture raised even more questions. Another video shows Erika arriving at an event in a car, supposedly crying and grieving. But when people saw it, they immediately started calling it out.
Love you, Erika. Charlie, 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 Charlie. Love you, Erika. Charlie, Charlie, Charlie.
Watch her face. Watch her body language. Does this look like real grief, or like someone trying to look like they're grieving? The internet went wild. Comments like, "bad acting," and "fake crying" flooded the video. People even compared her to actresses forced to cry on cue. And look, this isn't about being cruel. But when you watch the footage, something feels off. It's hard to explain, but your gut tells you something isn't right. Still, maybe we're wrong. Maybe this is just how Erika processes loss. Oh, let's compare it to genuine grief. If we're judging behavior, we need contrast. When Kobe Bryant died, his wife Vanessa lost both her husband and her daughter. It was devastating. She stayed out of the spotlight, but when she did appear, the pain was unmistakable, raw, heavy, and real. The kind of grief that radiates from someone who's truly broken by loss.
We have so many amazing things down the pipeline.
Fail in due time.
I am so excited.
I miss you, all of you, every day. I love you.
Look at this comparison. Vanessa Bryant, barely holding it together, visibly heartbroken. Erika Kirk, talking about amazing things down the pipeline, excited and energetic. The contrast is jarring. That's when the internet coined a new term, the happy widow. Harsh. Yes. But watching these videos side by side, it's easy to see why people were disturbed. Grief has no rulebook, but there's a difference between processing it differently and showing almost no signs of grief. Erika seems happy, energized, ready to move forward. Then came the next jaw-dropping part. After Charlie's death, Erika took over Turning Point USA. Most people would approach this with weight and reluctance. But not Erika.
She seems really upbeat, really happy, only days after her husband was assassinated. That looks like smiles. That looks like laughing and happiness and joy. So many people noticed this. Erika was laughing right after her husband was assassinated. Now, I'm not saying she's celebrating. I'm saying it's weird.
Listen to her tone. She's talking about hosting the show, continuing Charlie's work, and she's not somber or reluctant. She's excited. She even says, "I'm excited." It's weird to say excited. And yeah, it is weird when your husband was just murdered. She talks about being blessed to have more work than they could dream of and amazing things down the pipeline, all with upbeat energy, like she's launching a new business, not mourning her husband. TikTok users noticed, highlighting her tone, words, and body language. The consensus. This doesn't look like grief, it looks like excitement over a promotion. and it gets even stranger.
I just am excited. It's weird to say excited, but it's also very surreal to say it because I know that God will use all of this in a way that will glorify him, further Charlie's legacy, and Charlie's up in heaven just having...
He's rooting us on. I know that.
He's so rooting us on.
Yeah.
I know.
In another clip, Erika talks about continuing to use Charlie's social media accounts, keeping his voice alive. On the surface, it might seem like honoring his memory. But people are asking, is posting as someone after they're dead honoring them, or just creepy? Suspicion isn't proof, so experts were needed. Enter Dr. G, a professional body language expert. She analyzed hours of Erika's footage frame by frame, and her findings were eye-opening.
This is very much a real smile. The way that the eyes wrinkle, the way that the corners of the mouth go up, that all matches what would be a legitimate smile. So when people are saying, is she acting? Not right here she isn't. That seems to be actual. She actually feels good right there.
A way that always keeps Charlie first and his dreams alive and his legacy.
And then afterwards she says keeps his dreams alive. When she raised her eyebrows, she wants you to understand she is planning on keeping his dreams alive. That's something she's actually feeling as she's talking about it. Because when we raise our eyebrows, it brings attention to our face, and that's what she's focused on. You have to think so much of this is unconscious. So it's not like if she's trying to perform in some way that she could fake all of these things. What she's saying right now really does seem to be tied into how she's feeling.
First, and his dreams.
Dr. G noticed a Duchenne smile on Erika's face, a genuine smile you can't fake, involving the eyes as well as the mouth. She saw it when Erika talked about Charlie's dreams and taking over his work. This means Erika's positive feelings in that moment were real. Just days after her husband was killed, she was showing authentic happiness while discussing taking over his organization. That's not normal grief behavior. And Dr. G noticed something else too.
We will have consistency. The members...
So we will have consistency. She really wants people to understand this. And that's what's interesting and what's different about when she's talking about this relative to some of what she's talked about before. So we're seeing a difference in body language here and what we saw at the beginning. At the beginning, she was connecting with the other people in the room, sharing stories, talking about Charlie, feeling good. Now she's talking about continuing the legacy of Turning Point USA and the Charlie Kirk Show. There is an intensity here. I think this is something she feels very strongly about. And so you're not seeing the smiles and the warmth in the same way at this point. And that's not being critical. I think that's just a difference in how intense she is and how serious she is about what it is that she's doing.
When Erika talked about the future of the show, her body language shifted. She squinted, looked directly into the camera, and her tone went from warm to intense. Dr. G said this showed Erika was serious, committed, and focused, fully invested in continuing the legacy. Most widows, days after losing a spouse, aren't thinking about business strategy. They're just trying to survive the moment. But Erika was strategizing, locked in. Dr. G's analysis confirmed what many were already thinking. Her behavior didn't match typical grief, and it gets stranger. Another body language expert reviewed the footage and highlighted a moment they called tone-deaf and really disturbing.
But I want to preface, we're not awkward. We're not like weird.
Cringy.
We're not cringe. We're not going to be tweeting as if it's him. That's tone deaf and really disturbing, and anyone who does that's like morbidly off. That's not what's happening. What's happening is the team is keeping this alive because we have Charlie in each and every one of us, and it is going to be continually the North Star of the conservative movement, of the voice of the youth, of the voice of the base, and that will not end.
All right, so earlier we talked about incongruity, and sometimes that means when something is incongruent with the environment, but other times it's an incongruity between someone's words and behaviors. And people who are very empathetic are extremely sensitive to that type of mismatch. They notice it pretty much immediately. This is why I believe this moment that we just looked at, and a few more like it, didn't sit well with some people.
It happened when Erika talked about tweeting as Charlie, using his account like he was still alive. The expert said this shows a serious disconnect from normal grieving. Most people want to preserve a loved one's memory, not create new content pretending they're still alive. But Erika seemed excited, focused on maintaining his voice and platform. The expert called it disturbing, suggesting she might care more about the brand than actually processing her husband's death. It almost looks like she's treating Charlie as an asset rather than the person she loved. But experts alone aren't enough. We needed a detailed breakdown of the footage, and that's exactly what happened. A TikTok user analyzed it frame by frame, calling Erika's behavior unsettling as F***K. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
I'm just gonna say it, Erika Kirk's behavior is unsettling as fuck. It's not conveying real grief, it's conveying performance. It's giving uncanny valley. Like, this woman came out on stage to pyrotechnics, timing her body language and her crying to the music. Then she gives a speech that comes off as more of a piece of performance art than it does as an expression of real grief. And when you look at that woman's face, there is not a single tear streaming down that woman's face. There is not a single smudge of makeup out of place. She's making it look like she's crying, but she's not really crying. So yeah, the whole thing is unsettling as fuck.
At one event, Erika came out to pyrotechnics and dramatic music for a memorial appearance. Maybe that was the organizer's choice, but it set a tone. Then there's her crying moments. Look closely, not a single tear, makeup perfect, gestures and sounds of grief, but no real emotion. A TikTok user compared it to performance art, noting she even times her movements to the music. Maybe she'd cried earlier and had no tears left. But combined with the smiling, excitement, business talk, and genuine energy about taking over, this dry crying adds another layer. Thousands of viewers are saying the same thing. It feels staged. Experts, comparisons to real grieving widows, and body language breakdowns all point to one thing: Erika's behavior doesn't match normal grief. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan highlights the bigger picture. The entire situation around Charlie's death is suspicious. Confusing details, odd suspects, conflicting reports, and chaos. Maybe it's designed to make the public give up on finding the truth. And in the middle of that chaos, Erika appears almost like a newly promoted CEO instead of a grieving widow. Oh, what's really happening? Is she grieving unusually, in shock, or putting on a brave face? Or is she genuinely excited about her new role? Is there something darker at play, as Joe suggests? We don't know. And that's why this is so unsettling. Usually, grief is obvious, but with Erika Kirk, we're all left wondering if she's even sad at all. Always question what you're told. Look at the evidence for yourself.